Cheers.
Okay, welcome to our first nookside chat. So we've been making a lot of long-form content. I think primarily that's what we've been making on our YouTube about stationery and stuff. And now that I'm in Toronto, we thought it would be a good opportunity to do like a little cozy gathering. And we're just talking about titles. And we're like, nookside chat, like fireside chat. It's cozy. We have some tea with us. What are we drinking?
Sleepy lychee,
which is an herbal tea, which is nice because I'm not on caffeine. Well, especially right now, you wouldn't drink caffeine either, right?
I don't get affected by caffeine at all.
That used to be me, but it's not me anymore. So it's 10 p.m. It's just past 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's cozy time. We're not trying to drink caffeine right now anyway, so it's kind of sweet. And I like that it's slightly sweet, but it's not, I don't think it's actually sweetened or anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we figured it would be a good opportunity to just do like a little casual chat, get to know us as people. And yes, there are two of us. I think we got a comment the other day and I was like, wait, there's two of you? And we're like, yeah, don't we look different? Don't we look different?
Yeah. We talk different, we look different.
I think people think our voices are very similar.
Oh.
But whatever. There are two of us, and maybe the first thing we should do is an intro. But so far, we've been making content around stationery because that's, one of our big hobbies, but also because we're starting like a little art shop, and we definitely want to make products eventually that we want to use ourselves, right? And so we're just making content that we feel like we want to make that's interesting to other people that are like-minded like us, and I don't know, it's like content creator era for you especially, because I've been content creating for a while now, but AJ's pretty new to it, so get in that content creator mindset.
Get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Talk to the camera, get to know people online, share our creations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do all the above. But today I think we're just gonna have like a casual chat about some things about 2025, what we want to do, what we want to do with Nookends as a business, what we want to do personally. But maybe it makes sense to start with some intros so you know who we are, because this is episode 1 of our Nookside chat. Yeah. The first official Nookside chat.
Yeah.
So
my name's AJ. I'm the younger sister of the two of us. I'm currently living in Toronto. That's where we are right now. And I'm living here with my partner and our 2 cats, who you've probably seen before.
Come in. They're right there. they're right there.
Here. Their names are Mello and Mira.
Can I grab?
Yeah.
They're like water. Got her.
Here's one of them.
Let me leave.
This is Mira. Mello's over there. But these are my cats. We adopted them like a year and a half ago. But we've been living here for a while now in Toronto. Some of my hobbies: I play volleyball twice a week with friends. I like playing video games. I like crafting. So like I've kind of like done almost every craft you can think of.
I feel like same.
And I haven't like fully committed to any of them, maybe.
Serial crafters.
Yeah. I think COVID definitely was the catalyst to trying all these crafts. But I'm generally a pretty like crafty person, I think. And I like making handmade gifts and stuff.
Maybe it's because we're sisters and we had a similar upbringing, but like both of us are definitely very crafty, and we had this kind of artistic side to us. I don't know. We have a brother too who is none of those things. Yeah. So I don't know what it is.
I also like to cook, bake. I've done a lot of 3D printing, 3D modeling and 3D printing. I actually did it for school for a bit, and then kind of picked it back up as a hobby now. Kind of making just like little things that would help me with my day-to-day, or like with
practical stuff.
Yeah, like more practical stuff rather than like doing, I don't know, like
artistic like sculptures.
Yeah, like anything more grand than that. Yeah, it's just like really simple things to just like make my life easier.
Yeah.
In a way. So
like, what's an example of something you printed?
I had these ink vials.
Oh, the samples.
Basically, they store like ink samples. So I modeled this kind of like carrying case for about 5 samples. It can hold 5 samples, and you can kind of like either store them horizontally or stack them on vertically so it can like sit straight on your desk. 3D printing has been really fun, and also like helping friends out. Like when they need something, they will just send me a model and they'll print it.
Print this for me.
Yeah.
So I'm Sarah. I was born and raised in Toronto. We both were. But I moved to Seattle, which interestingly enough, AJ lived there for like 2 years.
Yeah, like 2.5 years.
and then you moved back here, and then we lived here together for four-ish years.
Yeah, four-ish years.
And at the end of 2023, my partner and I found out that we had to leave because of complicated startup-y reasons. Yeah. But it's okay. Seattle's a cool city, and we've been there for almost a year now. We moved there officially on April 1st, 2024. So in 2 months, it'll be my full year. I am a startup founder. I run my company, Canny, with my partner, Andrew, who is my life partner and my business partner. So our lives are very much intertwined. We have a sweetie pie dog. Her name is Emmy. She's not here at the moment.
Put a picture of her.
Yeah. She's the best. She's the best girl ever. Hobbies.
Yeah.
All the hobbies, all the crafts. I think right now, majorly is stationery and journaling, and that's kind of what
I didn't even mention that for myself.
Oh yeah. Obviously, we're both into journaling. Big thing for the two of us. Last year, I was really into making polymer clay keycaps. Yeah. That was a big thing. Still like playing music. I would love to find an a cappella group in Seattle. Like that's still something I'm looking for. I stream 3 times a week, and I've been streaming almost for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So I do these streams on Twitch for co-working, which, you know, everyone, when they think of Twitch, you think of gaming, like game streamers, but there is a whole, you know, growing community of people who do streams of many different types. Like there's art streamers, there's music streamers, there's people who do like fitness and workouts.
Yeah, it's
and
so
then there's
wide variety.
Yeah. People like me who do co-work streams. Largely it's around productivity, like getting things done together, body doubling, stuff like that. Some people run Pomodoro timers like I do. And yeah, I've been doing that for 4 years. It's crazy, and it's grown quite a bit, especially during the pandemic where everyone was like staying at home, like everyone wanted, you know, accountability.
And like company.
Company when you couldn't go outside, stuff like that.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, so you just feel more productive when, you know, other people are being productive too. It's rewarding for me because I get to bring people together. And
it's like now you have a community.
Yes.
And like
100%.
They're like all your friends. Like you know, you've met some of them. You travel with some of them. Like it's just like, it's more than just a stream now. So like, that's really cool.
It's all about the community. Like if I didn't have that community, there's no way, I don't know, I could continue doing like that. So that's our intro. I think with this nookside chat thing, it's nice to do it more in person. I think that's the idea, is we'll do it in person, and then if we meet up like in somewhere else around the world, we can film them, and we can just do these little catch-up chats, because especially like we don't live in the same city anymore, so like we don't see each other, or like we don't, I don't know, get to chat as much. So it's a good opportunity to do that. Yeah. So also to add to our backgrounds, both of us were product designers, or are product designers. So that's interesting. So yeah, I think also like our artistic side comes up in our professional life too. Even though design compared to art is very like practical. I feel like we see that in our product, like the products that we're thinking about is like very practical too. It's like journal inserts and like planner stickers, like functional versus like purely aesthetic.
So like Sarah said, I used to be a product designer as well, but I actually haven't been doing that for about a year now. So I was actually laid off from my last tech job, and I thought instead of going right back into it, I'd take a break and kind of like, I had some traveling to do also, and I thought like when I come back, I'd interview and try to get back into it. But I think in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm not really happy doing this 9 to 5, and also like being at a company that doesn't really value what I want as a creative. So I decided to take a break and also just like reevaluate my life. And so actually after Sarah left Toronto to move to Seattle, I was like thinking about some ideas and kind of like stewing on them. And then she flew back for our grandpa's birthday, and I kind of sprung this idea on her of like starting up a small business and like blending our passions for art, for stationery. We both love journaling. I thought that it'd be a good idea to maybe start making things together and then actually making things for the things that we love. So yeah, so like we actually started by talking about that, and then it kind of grew into something bigger, and now we have nookends. So
yeah, I mean, we can totally just like talk about this. Like I think it's interesting because when we talked about it, you were kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to like interview again.
I was very hesitant to go back.
Yeah, I think, I mean, tech burnout is a real thing. It's very high pressure, and I don't know, especially at your last job, I feel like you were really like thrashed around, and like you don't know who your manager is gonna be, and
there's so much anxiety to working at such a like volatile startup. Like especially last year, I think a lot of startups went through a lot of thrash.
Yeah.
You heard about layoffs happening everywhere, so it just like all of that just weighing on you every single day.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I think like it's different for me because I run my own business, so like I can't just be like, oh, I quit, you know. And because of that, like I've built such a stress tolerance. So when you brought it up to me, I was kind of like I love a side hustle. You know, I'm always interested in these side things.
You've done
but at the same, yes, I have, I have dabbled in a few side hustles. I don't know. When you said it to me, I think my reaction was kind of like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this on top of what I already do? Because, especially last year, I feel like I was in a lot of high stress at my full-time job. Yeah. And so I was kind of like, okay, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but like, at least there's two of us, and I think that's.
Yeah, we can like rely on each other. Yeah. And then we can also like pump the brakes whenever we want.
Right.
Like, it's open communication, which I thought would be beneficial to us. Right?
Yeah, and I feel like I think we communicated that too. Like, okay, if it's not working, then it's okay if we just were like, okay, we tried it and it didn't work out, and then we just move on. Like, if either of us were to be like, you know what, I need to, or if you were like, I need to find another job. Yeah. Because obviously we're not making a ton of money. If any. So like if you at some point were like, okay, well I need to find a job, like we need to make it work, right? Like we need to find that flexibility and just make it work. The nice thing for me is I've always wanted to start like a YouTube channel. Like I've always had the interest of like video editing. You know, I did video editing growing up. I want to do something in like the video editing space. And so when I thought about YouTube and starting my own YouTube channel, I was like, oh, I don't really want to vlog. Yeah. Because
you want it to be,
I don't want to be on all the time. Like I don't want to record my whole life. Yeah. Like I think that's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. That's not what I want to do. And so now that we're content creating for Nookends, I'm like, it's more purposeful. You know, like I'm like, okay, I have this idea for a video, I'll film that video. So it's like not in anybody's way. Yeah. So like that's really cool. And I could see us doing videos in the future, but like, and once in a while, like if we're traveling, we can do one. Like, yeah, I think we're in our content creator era. Yeah. We've been doing a video a day. If you've seen on our Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We upload the same video to each platform, and we're doing a video a day. And originally, I was like, I wanted to challenge her because I feel like she was, and she still is a little bit, like in her head.
I'm very in my head.
Yeah, just like overthinking it and like filming things multiple times, whereas I'm like 2 takes, done. She's like, oh, that can be better, or like, let's watch it back and see if it looks good. Yeah. And like, I think there's a nice like in between where, you know, nobody else is gonna notice. It's totally in your head, like your perfectionist mindset. Yeah. I used to have a ton of that, but and so hopefully, I don't know. How have you thought about the video a day challenge? Like, do you think it was worthwhile? Like, we're almost at the end. It's February.
Actually, by the time we post this, we're done.
That's true.
By the time this video is up, it is our last day.
Oh yeah, it'll be February 28th because this is gonna come on Friday. Yeah. So how do you feel like about the challenge?
I think definitely in contrast to the beginning of it, I've definitely entered more of a comfortable vibe towards it. I think there's still definitely like, oh, I'm talking to a camera. Like it is. I kind of
weird.
Yeah, it's different. Maybe I put a little bit more of a formal or like put together front, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I think like I've kind of been better at that. I think I've definitely gotten a little bit more comfortable there. Yeah. I think I'm definitely faster at editing, but I don't think I'm as fast to the filming aspect that you were talking about. I think like I'm still very much like, oh, I need to get the perfect angle. I need to get the perfect like panning of it, or like if something seems just off just for whatever reason, I will like just retake it. Yeah. I just need to get over that. Like no one will be seeing the same mistakes I'm seeing. Yeah. And same with like editing. I think like when I'm editing, I tend to like, I still am a little bit slow because I am like looking over each take just to pick the perfect one, but there is like no perfect one. Yeah.
They're so similar.
They're so similar. Like if there's one thing that's different, like I'm just wasting so much time going through all this footage. Yeah. So I think like doing this challenge has forced me to like do everything faster because the turnaround is only 1 day. Yeah. Right. So it's like I can't make myself
overthink.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like back to what I was saying, I think like in contrast to the very beginning, I think the very beginning was very, very slow. Like I would be behind on my videos and like doing it last minute, last second, and posting like even like after the deadline. I think I'm sometimes still behind, but overall like I'm planning things sooner, I'm scripting things sooner, I'm like making sure I have shots like when I'm on the go, like I'm making sure I'm thinking about like what shots I want to take. Overall, I think it was a very challenging thing for me because I'm a perfectionist and I overthink like every single detail. But I think like after this month of doing it, like going into the next month, into the rest of the year, I know what my weaknesses are now, so I'll continue to work on those.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So yeah, I think like this was a good working function. I think the earlier we did it was also good because like I think if I was like this for longer, I think it just, I don't know, it wouldn't be a good work ethic for myself. And I think like, especially for Sarah, like she's trying to work with me, and if I'm not on the ball, because I feel like you are pretty much most of the time.
I have to be.
I think that's also another thing, like probably take that time for granted. So I think that's something else I want to work on is my time management and making sure I'm not doing things I shouldn't be doing until I finish the things that are like on my to-do list or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting because at first, because I pitched this idea on, I think it was January 31st or January 30th.
It was like 2 days before
the month started. And I was like, hey, like I just thought of this idea literally in the shower earlier. Like, do you want to do a video a day? And at first I was kind of like, well, maybe, I wish I had thought of this earlier so we could like be ahead. But maybe a part of this challenge for us was to, you know, have like be last second so that we could not overthink and like plan too much and then
be more scrappy about it.
Yeah, like, and just like, oh, what am I filming today?
Put something out.
Here's what's here's what's top of mind. And sometimes some of our videos is just like, oh yeah, this is like I bought like one of my sticker books. Yeah. And I was like, oh, why don't I make a video of this because I really like it. And that ended up being like one of our better performing videos. Yeah. So like you never know.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling when you spend like so much time on an idea that you think will do well. Yeah. And like for me, that happened a bunch of times where like I would put so much effort into it and it just wouldn't do as well, which is fine. Like that's just one day. Like I can move on from that, but it's just
over and over.
Yeah, it's just a thought of like, oh, I put so much effort, like it's just not a good feeling for that to happen. So like if I'm able to get videos that perform well with low effort, then I should be like more okay with that, because in contrast to spending a lot of time on videos that don't perform well, like that's just a waste of my time, I think, and a waste of effort. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's social media. You have no idea. Like some people will do like this super low effort reel for like 5 seconds or like 10 seconds and it pops off. Yeah. And that's, it's really frustrating, but at the same time, it's part of the game that we sign up for and like something that we have to get used to. Like, and I think we felt this in one of your first videos, right? Like it's something that you're like, oh, well, you spent a long time editing it and now it, it didn't perform as well as we wanted it to. But like, I think a good learning lesson from that video is like, you don't want to feel after you put it out that like you have regrets or anything like that. Like, oh, I spent too long on it. Yeah. And, it's hard. Social media is like,
it's a mind game.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that I feel like can like ruin us is like we get too stressed out about performance.
Yeah, the metrics of it, the numbers.
It's so toxic. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I know this firsthand because I used to have this art account. Yeah. Obviously, Yeah. I used to have this art account that I grew to like 75,000 followers, and it just, even though my account was big, it wasn't like I was feeling like so happy, So like,
why was that?
I think especially when the account is like it's an art account, you end up starting to create art that you think your audience wants to see as opposed to what you actually want to make. Okay. And like this is more specifically for like artists. Yeah. But like why am I drawing this thing?
Like you weren't having as much fun.
Or like I'm not drawing for myself.
Yeah, you're not drawing it for yourself.
And like I feel like for artists, like a lot of why you do it is because like you want to enjoy the art that you make. Yeah. And for me, I'm like, okay, this will do well on my Instagram. Yeah,
because it's like trending or like people are talking about it.
Or like it's just like the kind of content I know my audience wants to see, and then at some point you're like, as an artist, you're like, oh, maybe I want to try like doing backgrounds, or like I want to do character design, or like
you want to just switch it up.
You want to branch out, and then I know that my audience isn't going to. Oh yeah. They don't expect that from me.
They want the consistency. Of what they're used to seeing from you. So like. Yeah. I think social media, it kind of pigeonholes you into a certain genre because like the followers, they're following you for this reason, and then so you want to keep providing that same thing to them.
Yeah.
And then once you deter from that, it could fall apart. But yeah.
Like I don't want. That's what I
volatile.
don't want for us, right? Like I made that account to see my art progress and like get better, because I was like really not good at drawing people at the beginning. I was like really bad, and then like by the end of it, like I could do like solid drawings in an hour. And so I'm really glad I did it, but at the same time, like the social media part is not like the takeaway. You know, it's like we should do the art that we want to do. And I want to talk about that too, like because we've been content creating right now so far, and I think we've been having fun with it, and we want to like, you know, build our channels and stuff, and at least start like making some money so that we could like pay off all the things that we buy for these hobbies. Like we're in such deep like hobby holes that ideally we can like at least start monetizing some things and like climb out of that hole. But we also want to make an art shop, right? Like for Nookends. So like let's talk about that. Like what do you want for Nookends, the business part? Like aside from, you know, the content that we're making.
I think
like, what do you think?
Like when I first started thinking about creating a small business, a small art business, I was actually doing a lot of like research on like what everyone out there was making. And I think a lot of people make things that, you know, have characters that they've created, or like creating art from nothing kind of thing. But I wanted to make art that represented who we both are, and also like the pets that we have in our life. I think that was like really important for me. I really wanted to include my cats in them. I know Sarah already has a lot of stuff drawn of her, but I also wanted stuff that I could picture using myself, and I think like a lot of people out there would also as well, especially in the journaling community. So I think like my goals for Nookends, for like as a business, I want to make products that are not only kind of key to who we are and like what we love. Speaking of back to your journey with your art account, I think I want to make sure whatever we're making is stuff that we love and stuff that we want to make. That's what I want to keep at the top of my mind. I don't want to like steer away from that. So I think that's very important for me, is like not to draw anything or make anything just to try to make money from it, or like I think for me, like for Nookends, I want it to be a business that comes like from our passions, and
it's an art brand, but we want to make products that, you know, people who are into journaling want to use, or people who just like cute stuff.
For me personally, I think a lot of things that I want to make for Nookends are things that I would use myself. So I think like we're both journalers. We've both been doing it for a while now, and also we're big fans of stationery. Primarily want to make things that we would use and we would love using, and also featuring our pets. Designing functional things is pretty core to both of our backgrounds as well. I think
as product designers.
As designers, I think we want to design nice things, not only like maybe cute or aesthetic things, but like things that actually have a function and a purpose and a meaning, and it's like our business reflects our interests.
What do you think of like fan art? Do you think we'll be doing fan art?
It'd be interesting in the future to branch off. We can do whatever we want to do, and I think like in the future I can definitely see that being a thing. We both are big fans of a lot of things, and I think we're both capable of making things inspired by the things we watch and the things we consume. I definitely see a world where we can do fan art. I'm trying to see how that can like weave into the Nookends brand. Maybe that can be like a separate branch or something else entirely. But I love fan art. I have a bunch of fan art by other artists, so
there's probably a place. That's just stuff I think about, because I think right now like we're thinking about making like stickers and like planner stuff, but then maybe there's a world where we do like prints or like I don't know. It's interesting. Like there's so much we could do, because we've barely started. We haven't really we've created some physical products, but like we don't have a shop. So where do you want us to get in terms of Nookends as a shop? Like we could be in physical stores, we could table. Like what products do you want to make? And
I think we both agree, like we've been talking, and I think we both, in general, producing physical goods is not easy right now for us to even like kind of wrap our heads around. Like you've been doing stuff at home, like printing stuff, cutting stickers out. I think like when we try to think about a digital store, I think for me personally, the idea of having to stock inventory, pack orders, I think that's a little bit too big for me right now, just to like wrap my head around and like shipping stuff out. And I think maybe the same with you, to some extent. And so I think we're starting right now with digital stuff, which I think is a good starting point that can get us to churn out things faster. So I
We're
think
more comfortable in that world.
yeah, we're more comfortable with like digital products. So I think that's something that we can like easily put our foot in the door for.
Yeah.
So that's something that I can see ourselves like continuing to do. Like we've been doing stickers and also
Printables.
journal inserts. So I think like we can continue to think about ideas in that area. But I think for me personally, I would love if we could like do physical things and like
Yeah.
table at a market like
Yeah.
next year would be a great time for us to get in. I think we can do it as well.
Yeah. I think there's so much like behind the scenes that we haven't even touched yet, like with manufacturing
Yeah, I
and
think
stuff. Like
that's a
we've
whole
never
different world.
produced like real physical goods, right? Like you're saying about stocking things, like
Yeah.
having like a bunch of sticker sheets or like a bunch of keychains or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun. Like I think it'd be really rewarding. You know, when I did those polymer clay keycaps, like I feel like when I sent it out and like people like sent pictures of the keycap on their
Yeah.
keyboard, it was like this magical feeling.
Yeah. And you
And,
don't
like,
get
them
that
unboxing
Yeah. You don't get that with digital
Yeah.
sales. Like you just know that they've purchased it. But there's something special with something physical. You
Yeah.
like the way you package
Yeah.
it, the way you put your branding on it,
Yeah.
like everything that you've put into it, like other people can feel that when they
Yeah.
receive it. So I think like
It's so cool.
that's just a special feeling. It's
It's
just
actually
like
so nice.
yeah, I just feel like we
Yeah.
need to figure out a lot of logistics before we get to that. But I think once we get there, like,
Yeah.
we'll be fine. I think we know what we want to make. I think it's just like figuring out all the steps to get there,
Yeah.
talking to manufacturers,
Yeah.
sourcing materials, colors, getting samples.
Yeah.
Like-
Getting mistakes
Yeah,
made.
yeah, new mistakes made. Like,
we're gonna go through all
Yeah.
of it. But it'll be fun. I think we'll learn a lot. And it's also we have an extra challenge because we're in separate places.
yeah,
Like who's gonna do the stocking and who's gonna mail stuff out.
yeah,
But maybe there's an
That's a big one.
advantage in that you're in Canada and I'm in the US.
Yeah.
Like maybe we can each have coverage, but then we're both gonna have inventory.
yeah,
Anyway, there's a lot of challenges coming up. But I think it'd be so cool. Like I think our art, like one, yeah, we have to build our presence and like our brand, but then I think we definitely have the ability to like execute on the art side. And then it's about like, are we making stickers? Are we
Yeah.
making sticker sheets? Are we making
yeah.
keychains? Or,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
Um,
I think there's so many things that we could make, and I don't want us to feel overwhelmed by trying to do everything.
Yeah.
So I think for us this year, we've definitely like gotten more comfortable with making stickers and
Yeah.
like journal inserts. I think we're both pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I don't think we should rush into doing anything crazy,
Like plushies.
yeah, or like apparel or like
yeah.
bags or anything. I think
Yeah.
like starting with stickers. I think doing what we know well
Yeah.
is what will kind of establish us as a brand as well.
Yeah.
I think our audience can also see that.
And like warm up to us.
Yeah, and I think like they know what to expect from us, and then
Yeah.
they can see us as we grow and we introduce more products.
Yeah, and it's just easier logistically also to send just like flat mail versus like package.
Yeah.
Like thick stuff, and the delivery thing is a whole nother like dimension.
Yeah.
of, like shipping to the UK, I think you have to like there's like different things you need to keep. I don't know. There's a whole thing. So yeah, maybe it makes sense for us to just like pick a number of things to launch our shop with, and then it'd probably be like single stickers and then like sticker sheets.
Yeah.
Planner stickers,
Washi
something like that.
tapes, maybe.
Well, yeah, I think
Yeah.
washi tapes is the next level. Like
Maybe next.
like keychains and stuff that's like more
Oh,
3D.
okay.
Maybe we hold off. And at first we start with just planner stickers, sticker sheets, stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
just flat, and then we can send it with like airmail, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just easier. You can fit it in, an envelope.
Yeah.
Versus like mobile mailer and whatever.
Yeah.
I think we could do it. I think we could do that. Like just
Yeah.
like 20 products or
Yeah.
something.
You have 20 solid stickers.
Yeah, and just
really
like
good
launch.
products. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we just need to like there's this saying in startups, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like if you're ready to launch, you've launched too late,
Yeah.
right? Like you should feel like on your toes. You should feel like you are getting your stuff out there as early as possible so that you can get like feedback and stuff like that. And yeah, maybe it's more applicable to like when you're doing like a software startup or something, but like at least we can see if people are interested in our stuff. Like what if we put them all out and nobody cares, you know? So like I think it'd be better to get them out as early as possible. So if we can launch with like, I don't know, like 20 or so stickers, sticker sheets, then like I think that's success.
Yeah.
Oh, you heavy
I'm
boy.
excited.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff that we've been thinking about, I think, too.
Yeah.
Like, we've been doing a video a day, but we've been looking forward
Yeah.
to, like, getting back into designing products.
Yeah.
And, like, we're excited for
Yeah.
things to come.
Yeah, I think after a video day, after this week, we should try to get back more into like the drawing side, like actually making the art.
Yeah.
Right now we're pretty focused on the content creation side, and I think it's fun, like we're learning a lot.
Yeah.
But we also need to remember that we have like
That's
our
only one
business
side of
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one side of the business.
Yeah.
A big one, but also we need stuff
Yeah.
to launch with.
Yeah.
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 And-
Other than the Nookends shop in 2025, let's talk quickly about travel.
Oh.
Because we want to do a trip, right?
Yeah.
Like one trip.
Yeah, I
Or
could do
2
one.
trips.
Yeah, let's do one trip.
And we were talking maybe New York. Japan never gets old, right? Especially in the stationery world where like everything is like cheaper there.
Yeah.
Even though we both just went.
There's so many more options, more stores that sell
Yeah.
them.
That's so cute and
Like,
everything's
Japan
cheaper.
design is so much. Japan design is just like different.
Cream.
Yeah.
Cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So where would we go?
I think because we both just went to Japan and
Yeah.
Taiwan,
Yeah.
I would put it a little bit lower in our list just because of that.
Yeah.
And I think New York, like you said, I think New York has a lot of solid options for stationery as well. And places that I don't think either of us have been yet.
Yeah.
So I think that's one option. It's also much closer because it's in.
Yeah.
For me, it's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
plane
Flight.
ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you,
Like
maybe-
4 hours.
yeah, maybe
or
4
so?
hours. But anyway, yeah, I think New York would be great. I might come to Seattle this year.
Okay.
There's a lot more flights from Toronto to Seattle now, so
Yep.
and they're much cheaper, so I
Yep.
could definitely see myself coming out there.
Yep.
I
You
miss
still have
I miss
friends there.
Seattle. Yeah, like I miss Seattle in the summer.
Seattle summer is like
Yeah,
peak.
it is way
It's
better than
super
here.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can totally see myself coming over there.
I'm still like, I think if there were a flight that was like $600 to Japan, we should do it.
For both of us,
Yeah.
600 US or 600 CAD
600 US. There's no way it's gonna be 600
round
CAD.
trip. Yeah, I could. I
Yeah,
could
right?
definitely do it. I just
Yeah.
don't think that's realistic. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I would love
the
to go to
food.
Yeah, I would love to go to Taiwan because I think after I saw your
Okay,
trip to
yeah.
Taiwan and
Yeah.
like you got a lot of cool stuff there too, I would love to
Yeah.
go. And I love Taiwan. I've only been once,
Oh yeah.
so I would love
when
to go.
we went.
Yeah, we went to Kaohsiung,
Yeah.
so I think going to Taipei and like seeing what it's all
Yeah.
about.
I love Taiwan. I
Yeah.
love Taipei. Like, well, Taiwan in general, just like
Yeah.
the night markets.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. We'll make at least one trip, and maybe we'll do another nookside chat there.
international nookside.
Yeah. I think it'd be cute. I think it'd be,
Yeah.
especially if you guys watching enjoy this kind of
Yeah.
more casual, chatty video. We could definitely
Yeah.
make more. And then if we really, really like it, we could try to figure out like remotely doing them.
Yeah,
But I think it's a nice little like just like ritual we can do when
Yeah.
we're together
yeah,
physically because we're
Yeah.
not that often anymore.
yeah,
Yeah. So in between our regular weekly videos, we can have like a random
yeah. Chit chat.
chatty one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thanks for coming to our first Nookside chat. This was really fun. I think it was very casual, it's cozy. We have tea, cats, you know.
It's different from our usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different from our usual format, and I think it's good to switch things up. I think like you guys get to know us more. I think that's the main point of this. It's like we can just open up and talk about anything, even get vulnerable. So I think that's nice.
Yeah. Until next time, maybe we will chat from Seattle, maybe we'll chat from New York, maybe we'll chat from Asia. But for now, take care, have a great weekend, and we'll see you in our next video.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.